She's young, she's an activist, she's involved, and she truly is an inspiration to many outside of even her own community, but to Southern California and California. And she's always willing to step up to do things like this. So I serve on a board with her, and she's got a lot of interest, and she's a very great woman. So Chairwoman Pinto, please join me. Somebody in her family took a picture of her and put it on Facebook, and I was like, they were making fun of her, and I said, that's a boss lady right there.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Hello, my name is Erica Pinto, and I am the proud chairwoman of the Jamul Indian Village. I'm so honored to be here today amongst you for the 50th annual Indian Day at the state capitol. It's so wonderful to be here, truly honored. I just want to acknowledge everybody who put so much time and energy to make this possible. To Shmal, Chairman Hunter, and also my two elderly Tule River women who allowed me to use their charger in the bathroom. So we stand here today at a pivotal time in Native American history. Our tribal nations have made significant progress in achieving economic self-reliance for our people. My tribe, which did not get running water and electricity on our reservation until 1980, opened a world-class casino last October, helping us to put on the path towards self-sufficiency and true sovereignty. And with the success of our casino, like so many other tribes, we are investing in the health and welfare of our people, in the life and safety services of our region, and in important charities to lift up our entire community. We have so much to celebrate on this Native American Day. But with this success, tribal nations in every corner of California and around the country are facing unprecedented threats to our sovereignty. Tribes like my own have been routinely and maliciously taken to court. Our opponents don't just challenge our right to develop gaming facilities on our sovereign land, they challenge the legitimacy of our tribes. They challenge our federal recognition. They challenge our rights to exist. Those are the same challenges to our sovereignty that were being thrown at our tribes almost 50 years ago, when then Governor Ronald Reagan signed a resolution in 1968 recognizing the fourth Friday of each month as American Indian Day. That same year in 1968 was a critical moment in the sovereignty of the Native American people. It was a year in which President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Indian Civil Rights Act. It sounded like a wonderful thing, in a Civil Rights Act for American Indians, but there was a catch. Since 1832, our tribes have had the power to govern themselves. This meant that tribal courts had the authority to settle disputes according to our land, our laws and practices. The Indian Civil Rights Act was created so the federal government could undermine our sovereignty. It gave the federal government the power to overrule the decisions of tribal officials and to protect the constitutional rights of tribal citizens. And I quote, "from arbitrary and unjust actions of tribal governments." The authority the federal government gave itself in 1968, the year our great state recognized American Indian Day for the first time, has been at the heart of our struggles to achieve true sovereignty for the last 50 years. And it is a struggle we must continue to fight if we're really going to achieve self-determination and to be able to protect our sovereignty. 30 years after California first recognized American Indian Day, another bill was signed by then Governor Pete Wilson. AB 1953 changed the name of this occasion to Native American Day, and it authorized our public schools to, and I quote, "incorporate the contributions Native American peoples in school curriculum." You see, even though California is home to more Native American tribes than any other state in the country, our children weren't learning about California's Native American history. Kids in the 4th grade were being taught about teepees and buffalo hunting, but nothing about tribes that have inhabited our great state for thousands of years before the Europeans ever showed up. None of the children in San Diego knew that my ancestors, the Kumeyaay Nation, have lived in our region for 12,000 years. That's why today is so important. It is a day of education. It is a day for us to be proud of our tribal history and traditions and to share it with all those people who now call our ancestral lands home, because our history is the real history of this great nation, and it is only When we all appreciate that history, we can start to build bridges of understanding. But that isn't enough. We know we can do better. Last year, the state of California adopted a new statewide history framework for K through 12 schools. The framework said that we shouldn't just teach our kids California history in the 4th grade by having them build a mission. It said we should be taking a more holistic look at history, including considering what life was like for California Native Americans. This year, the state legislature has taken a step further and recently passed AB 738, which would require a model curriculum in Native American studies that schools could use as a guide for grades 9 through 12. The curriculum will be written with input from Native American tribes to tell our unique stories and share our heritage through language, customs, and traditions. It will go beyond just the mission period of California history and teach about the significant contributions Native Americans have made to our communities. This Native American Day, I strongly urge Governor Brown to sign this important piece of legislation. We can't just depend on Sacramento, however. We must all do our part. Tribal leaders need to do more to teach our own proud culture. At the Jamul Indian Village, I co-founded a youth program with my brother called Acorns to Oaks. It helps build pride in our Native American heritage while teaching our children about culture and traditions. If we don't teach our children to believe in our people and to fight for our sovereignty, then everything we've worked so hard to achieve will be lost. Indian gaming has been instrumental in putting tribes on the path to self-sufficiency and self-reliance. It has opened us to attacks and ridicule also. To have to build relationships with our local, state, and federally elected officials, my tribe has an open-door policy to work with government officials. We had to begin a dialogue and show our long-term commitment to doing the right thing. That includes investing in our community. My small tribe, we're only 6 acres, has committed more than $90 million for fire and life safety services and more than $23 million for road safety for San Diego County. When we invest in our communities, in public safety and infrastructure, in education and in charities, we build stronger and safer communities. That's something that benefits everyone. As I stand here today, I've never been more hopeful for the future of California Native American people. Our ancestors fought tirelessly for generations, struggling to protect the sovereignty of our tribes and our right to self-determination. That struggle is something our opponents have never understood. They have always underestimated our commitment to self-reliance. They've never understood that we aren't seeking wealth, but to build a better life for our children and grandchildren. They can't shake our will to succeed. When California's children look back in their history classes on future Native American Day, they will see that in 2017 was a time when we all stood up together with one voice, committed to building a better future. We will fight to protect our sovereignty while fighting to be even closer and interconnected with our communities. That's a legacy we will leave this American Indian Day, and it's one our ancestors can be very proud of. Thank you for having me today for the closing remarks. I appreciate you all. Thank you.